Hello and welcome. This is from Upside Down to Right Side Up Tips for the Transition. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan, your host. This is my continuing series of conversations in which I chat with strong, resilient women who have an inspiring story of their transformation. And they are courageous enough to come share it with us here. I am so excited to introduce you to my next guest, Carey Conley. Hers is a story about learning how important having a rock-solid vision is for moving through life's upside-down times, no matter what life throws at us. We call this episode My Anchor in All the Storms. Hello, Carey.
Hello, Maria. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. I am so honored that you're sharing this story with us. We have lots of stories in our lives. Would you tell us where this story begins for you?
Well, that's a long story, but in the 80s, I was doing what all of us in the 80s were doing, which was working in the corporate world. My husband and I both went into corporate sales, and he excelled in it, was doing really well, moving up the ranks. I was one of those people that didn't fit that mold very well. I changed jobs about every 2 years looking for the right fit. And at about that time, I met a woman who was a speaker and very inspirational, and I asked her to be my first mentor. And what she encouraged me to do was to take an entire day, and sit down with a legal pad of paper, because this was the 80s, so no iPads, all that kind of stuff. And on those legal sheets, I wrote all of the things I wanted my life to look like in great detail. What kind of relationship I wanted to have with my husband, what we were doing with our time, what kind of mom I wanted to be, what kind of values I wanted to instill in my kids. And also noodled some ideas around businesses, because I knew at that point that I wanted to have my own business. I just didn't know what. So lots of different ideas that led me down the path. One of them was that I wanted to be with a company that empowered women like me to be able to stay home and make a really great residual income and earn trips and all of that. But I also put on one of those sheets that I wanted to eventually become a speaker on vision and purpose. No idea where that came from. It just was on the very last line, literally. And I believe what happened that day is because I was so quiet, I was listening to the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, saying, okay, here's the plan I have for you. And so little by little, it started unfolding, right? So about a year later, I had my son. I was still working full time, but really looking for something to transition into. And then pregnant with my daughter 2 years later, I got introduced to my first company that I went into. And for 25 years now, I have been teaching people, the people who are involved with me in that company, and also now the speaking that I do, why vision is everything, because it's been everything for me. So that's the history of how it all began.
That's amazing that you were relatively young. How old were you then?
20, probably my daughter's age, 25, 26, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. That really just hit me.
Yeah, it's interesting that at that age, I'm trying to remember myself back at that age, I was not nearly that focused.
Right. Yeah. Most of us at that age are not. However, I will tell you, I think you and I were probably a lot more focused than most of the 25-year-olds now, for a lot of reasons. And they are a core group of people that I want to start working with the most now moving forward, because I see that they don't have any vision of their life not nowhere near in writing, and not really even up here, which is kind of scary to me. And there's a whole lot of reasons I think that's happened to them and for them that probably won't go into here. That'd be a whole other platform. But yes, it's an epidemic. And most people think they have vision until I tell them what I did and what I've now done with thousands of people, getting it written in detail, leap off the page with dates on it. There's the gap, right? What most people have is what I call a hope and a wish and a prayer plan going on, right?
Yeah.
Nothing in writing with target dates. That's the difference.
So can you tell us how that vision was your anchor in all the storms?
Yeah, so, moving forward, had my kids, did really great, raised them, did really well with the first company. Then created my coaching business 5 years ago.
Take your time.
It's got me through building two businesses. You and I know as entrepreneurs is not an easy feat. A lot of ups and downs. So the people that I've been speaking in front of mostly to this point have been entrepreneurs who are very inconsistent and want to quit. And most of them do quit when it gets really hard, which is sad to me because that to me is like living with regret for the rest of your life kind of thing. And what I've told all of them is that I had all of those walls. I wanted to quit both of my businesses so many times I can't even tell you. But what got me up over all those walls, which is why I first started saying anchor in the storm, was that my vision of what I wanted for me and my family was bigger. Right? Which is again why I tell people you've got to have this in writing, because every day you're going to have some little bump in the road that's going to push you off course, whether it's little things or it's massive life things, which in the past 5 years, I have lost both my husband and my son to suicide.
And you are one of the strongest women I know. Let me rephrase, most resilient women I know.
Thank you.
Because, these, what I call life's upside down moments, they can really knock us out at the knees and take us down for the count.
Right.
But your vision, your anchor in all the storms is what kept you going, right?
Yes.
So having that vision written with, and it was bigger than you. So tell me a little bit about that. How was it bigger than you?
Well, because it was never about me to start with. The whole starting with my vision when I was a young mom was all about, okay, this is all for our family. What we were building and what I was building was a residual income so that I could be with them as their mom. I could have a very flexible schedule, be at all their stuff. I did earn a lot of trips with Art, which was my first company I was with. I was all about the trips and making memories, which I'm so grateful for now. So it was never really about me so much. I enjoyed the accolades and I enjoyed the cars that I earned and all of that, but it was always on the days I wanted to quit. I would see my children and go, okay, I can't quit because they're counting on this. So there's that. Now the bigger purpose is how much I see so many people struggling because they don't have a purpose. So my new tagline that I've been using, Maria, as you know, is I'm teaching everybody to do everything on purpose. Do it on purpose. Knowing your purpose will get you through everything. And that I exist to help other people figure out why they exist. It's my new mission statement.
I love that. The part I love most, and I've heard you speak many times, that you that you always had this, it wasn't about you. You just said it. It's your vision was not about you. And I think that's what's missing for so many, is that the vision is about them, right? It's about what they want to achieve. It's not about the why.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's the purpose part, isn't it?
Yes. You know, I don't even know that a lot of people even know what they're doing for their own selves anymore, Maria, which is really scary. You know, we have such a culture right now that creates people thinking about the end result. You know, get the paycheck, make more money, get the recognition, just follow the system. And a lot of people right now are scratching their heads going, I just don't get what that's all about. Like at the end of the day, what's that really all about? And when they get to my age, the money is the least of what we want, right? Because now we're seeing, okay, what kind of legacy am I leaving here? Because, you know, I'm on the backside of life. So it's not the money that's the driving force. And really, it never should be. But it's the culture that we create.
Yeah, I so agree with that. I look at people, younger people than and I'm older than you, so I'm way on the other side of life. But I look at young people today, and I watch them, even the young people in my own family, and
Yes.
it's all about it's all about what they can achieve and how others perceive their success.
Yes.
So I love where you're going with this. I would love to, in our next segment, I would love for you to share your perspective on how some of the emotions and the loss of purpose that you see, how can that come to actually destroy us if we let it?
Right. Yes.
So would you talk with us about that in the next
Sure,
segment?
of course.
That's fabulous. Okay, thank you so much. And please stay tuned for our next segment with Carey. Until next time, I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan.